Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie. Today I'm going to recap and analyze Canada Quebec season 3 episode 1. So it just premiered few days ago. So I wanted to watch the first two series of the Quebec one, but I didn't manage to find the videos. But I do know who won those seasons. Mainly I know the season 2 one, and spoiler alert, both of them were won by faithfuls. So let's see what this one is gonna be about. Like, who is gonna win this? Is it gonna continue the trend and be faithfuls, or it would be traitors? We will see. And actually, that sentiment did get brought up by some of the players. Like, this will be the season that traitor will win. We will see. We'll see, because there are some like confident. Some might even say arrogant. Well, I am talking about one specific person, but yeah, there are some confident people in this cast. So we'll see what's gonna happen in this season. So let's start. The episode started with what happened in the previous season, and as I said, the previous one was owned by faithful. I remember, I think I managed to watch few of the scenes from the season 2, like when it came out, and I definitely noticed Audrey. Yeah, she, a spoiler, but she was amazing. Like, the few footage that I've seen of her playing the game, she was on the offensive, not in defensive, even if she was a faithful. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So then we were shown the preview of this season, and some of the challenges and twists that I saw there, I definitely, from the minute I saw that preview, I was like, yeah, I think it would be like most of the challenges and twists are gonna be from the English Canada season 3 that just finished, I think, few months ago. So I guess these are filmed back to back, like first I think the English one and then this Quebec one, I guess. But yeah, I definitely thought that it's gonna be copy and paste from there. The twists are there. So let's start with the contestants. So they obviously arrived in the card, sponsored card. If you know, there are lots of ads in here. So I'm going to talk about some of the players that were highlighted. And first there was Axel, and you see a lot of Axel in this episode, and he is a development consultant, and he definitely is confident. He said something like he's here to raise the game, like, as a traitor. I was like, okay, here we go, we got a arrogant person here. So yeah, I definitely did not have a good impression of him throughout this whole episode. So we will see what happens from here. Then we were shown priest Francois. I think that's how it is pronounced, maybe. So he's a priest, and I think he's the first priest ever in a Canada version. And I actually do remember, like, recently international season, like, I don't know the maybe Netherlands or I actually don't remember, but I think there is a recent one where a priest was like, he had the same kind of vibe as Francois. Like, people are already suspicious, like he could, like, is he like lying to us, or is he actually a priest, or is he gonna able to lie or something. So yeah, but it is interesting that there is a priest in the Canada version. Then we were introduced to Patrick, and he's a limousine driver. That's okay, but apparently he got help from AI to be able to win the traitors. Like, wow, like, even people are using even AI to learn how to win traitors. Well, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. But it would be interesting if he managed to win the game like that. I think OpenAI is not already doing that. I think it's gonna explode from there. So then we were introduced to Camille, and apparently Eunice, other contestant, he thought that she was an influencer. I mean, she did look like an influencer in that car, but she actually is a politics analyst. But she lied to them and said, like, she works for some wildlife, like, refugee and some things. So I think that's a good thing that she lied, because if she said to them, like, she's a politics analyst, I think people would already be like, oh, she would definitely be chosen as a traitor. So yeah, it's a good thing that she lied about it. Then in the same car there was Carol, and she is a psychic. Now, historically psychics are not actually good. Like are not, they're not the good look, they do not have the good look in traitors. Like they are, most of them are wrong. And so yeah, we'll see how Carol does in here. Hope she does well, and we'll see how she goes on here. Then we were shown Genevieve, and I actually seen some of her posts. Like she's a content creator, so she is actually the influencer one, but she's definitely noticeable. We'll see how she goes. Then there was Jacob, and his mustache, like that was a impressive one. I don't think I've seen a mustache like that in a TV show. Like it's definitely noticeable. So these are some of those players that are really noticeable in the car ride. But there are others too. But those are the ones that I actually wrote about in my notes. So let's go to the castle. The castle was, as always, a creepy one, and they were shown a letter. And immediately, as soon as I saw that letter, I was like, yeah, they're definitely going to the graveyard, as it's the same one as the English Canada one. So they were shown there, and Kadeen was staring them down. Like she was with her outlandish outfit, of although that was not as outlandish as the ones that you have already seen in our previous seasons, but it's just episode 1, so I'm pretty sure there will be outlandish ones later. But yeah, she was staring them down. If I was there, I would be like, damn, I would be like, I'm woken up, like this is a game. She gave them actually a bit of a hint that tomorrow there will be 2 players back in here. So it's a big hint. I don't think she gave them that much of a hint, like what's gonna happen, like one is gonna stay, one is gonna leave. I don't think she gave them that much of a hint on the English one. Then also she told them that if they got a traitor out, they will get, I think, $10,000 in the total price. So we'll see what's gonna happen. So yeah, as I said, same twists as the English. And after they got back in the castle, they were already speculating, the contestants, like what's that about, like tomorrow there will be people, like what's that mean, like would there be 2 traitors that will be meeting or something. Like they're already speculating. She gave them a tiny bit of a hint. After that round table where the traitors will be chosen, so then we were shown some of their interviews. Of course, most of them wanted to be traitors, understandable, but there were some people. The priest actually said that he wanted to be a faithful, and I think Elaine also said that she didn't want it to be a traitor. So the most notable ones that we were shown, like I noted, was Axel. Of course, he wanted to be a traitor, and as confident or arrogant you could say he was, and he was saying like, yeah, I would be the best traitor that you've ever seen, or something like that. I was like, okay, I think I want him to see him being a traitor so that I could see him fail. But then I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to see him that much, because if you're a traitor you would get more screen time. I don't know if I want to see him in my scene too much. So then Camille was shown, and of course she wanted to be a traitor, and she was also touched. Actually, before I go on, I have to say I am noticing Camille a lot. Like I'm reading the edit, and I think like that Camille is for the long haul. Like I don't know if she's gonna win or not, but I do think that like we're gonna see her a lot. Like she's not gonna be out soon. So yeah, I'm reading the edit. But yeah, so those 2 were chosen. After that, she was standing in the middle in the stage, kinda, and then she gave them a twist, a surprise, that those who were touched were actually be the faithfuls, and those who were not touched are be the traitors. And I was as surprised as the contestants. And by the way, I shouldn't have been that surprised, because that same twist happened in the English one, but I guess I forgot about that. But yeah, I was genuinely surprised that happened. So actually the traitors are Genevieve and Dominic. And I have to do say, like when she was like talking in the interview, the way she was talking to Genevieve, and the way Genevieve replied, like, yeah, I want to be a traitor, like look at me, I am like, in my eyes or something. I was like, she would definitely be touched. But then when she was not touched, I was like, oh okay, I guess she would not be a traitor. But yeah, she was touched, and yeah, of course, then she was chosen to be a traitor by not being touched. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It seems like a good one. But I have to do say, like, that Francois, like the priest, actually did, like, I shouldn't say clock her, but he did notice some change in behavior, I guess. But I think it is said by all of them, like some kind of change in behavior. But she's a traitor, I guess, so that's why it was shown. But also, well, I should say, I guess it's a spoiler, but it is in the same episode. Francois actually either going to be a traitor or is going to be killed. So I guess it's a reason why it was shown. The contestants were then back at the seating castle positions, and suspicions were flying around. And the main suspect from all of those talks were that Nada suspected Sylvie. Like, apparently Sylvie lied to Genevieve that she didn't want it to be a traitor, while she had told others that she wanted to be a traitor. It was just weird, and it was clearly not shown in the video, in the edit, that what was actually said or what actually happened. But yeah, Sylvie was under fire. Then we were shown Justin trusting Genevieve, and I was like, okay, Genevieve already has got some things going on, so it's a good start for her. Like, no one actually suspected her, and she already got someone saying that they trust her, so it's a good first day for her, I should say. And it was even helped by the fact that Nada was like, people were suspecting Nada. Okay, so she heard that her name was being called, and she was like, she goes right to them, and she's like, oh, why is the reason, why, what? And I was like, what are you doing? Why are you being so out there? Like, she is definitely gonna be part of the season. And well, that's good for the traitors. Like, if others are gonna take most of their attention, that's good for the traitors. And the next day, as soon as I saw the setting, I was like, yeah, same task, same challenge. I think I'll be saying that for most of the season, where I'd be like, same task, same challenge, same twist. So the main thing that happened was they were split into 5 groups: physical, social, observation, mathematical reasoning, and logic. And they were split up into teams. Most of them failed, and only 2 teams were managed to complete their own task. The most important thing that happened in the task was the fact that Axel was really annoyed with Karin, and actually there is a contestant named Karin there. I was first confused. I was like, why is he talking about Karin like that? I was like, okay. Then I realized that Karin is actually a contestant. So yeah, he was annoyed with Karin because she was not exactly, she was quite nonchalant about the fact that Jacob, who was in their team, volunteered, or he was kind of forced, I guess I should say, to be the sacrificial lamb and could be murdered in the night. So she was not, I guess, sympathetic about it, and Axel was annoyed with her. And along with Jacob, there was Caroline's team too, who finished, but Caroline sacrificed herself. I don't know why she would sacrifice herself. Like, what are you doing? Like, they didn't even fight. At least the Jacob one, they were at least, they're talking about, like, I don't want to be there, you should be there, whatever. But Carol, she just straight up, like, volunteered to be out there. I was like, wow, like, what are you doing? I would never do that. I would be far back. I was like, I would not speak to anything. I would be like, nope, I would definitely not be volunteering myself. But yeah, those 2 left in the stage, floating stage in the river. So the main thing that happened, except Axel, Justine, Nada, Karin, contestant Karin, Steve, and Patrick, except them, all of them are eligible to be murdered. So most of them, as I said, failed to complete their task, and it was hard, some of those tasks. Nothing important than that happened. So in the car ride back, Sylvie was then actually told by Axel that she was being heavily under suspicion, and she would probably be, vanished the next time there is the first time there is a banishment. While that was happening, Jacob was concerned with the fact that people might be thinking that he could be a traitor and volunteered himself because he was, why did he volunteer himself? And he was right. There were people who were thinking same thing. But I have to say, like, people are going to say the same thing in every decision or every talk you say. Like, yeah, traitor would do that, traitor would say that. So it's nothing you can do that can be warned by others. You have to be, I guess, likable by others or friends with some of those people, so that most of them would not say that. Then we were shown a scene that Dominic was actually annoyed with priest Francois because he said something like, "No way, you are just a grandma and just a retired grandma," and she was annoyed. And of course, it makes sense like why she was hurt. Like if someone said, "Oh, you are not just a annoyed grandma," and especially with the fact that she was actually like she worked in some kind of Canada Secret Service. So yeah, I don't think she was too happy with hearing that. So it's a thing to note. But then the most important thing happened, which was the traitors were given a task. Is the fact that they have to find each other and with using the locket. And of course, as usual, it was pretty hard to do that. Like especially in your first, like it's the second day, and you have to find each other with this long ass locket that anyone could see it and be like, what is that, and they would be suspicious of you. And especially in the, as I said, in the second day, like of course you were scared. And yeah, they failed. Like it's so awkward. Like people were talking, like people all around them were talking seriously about like, yeah, they could be traitors or what's going on. And they were like sweating, trying to find each other. And sometimes I do have to think, that's why I want to be like, if I ever go on a traitors, that's one of the reasons too, like I want to be a traitor, because as a faithful you don't even know that's happening. They were like, they're talking with themselves or whatever, and traitors are having their own tasks and everything. So yeah, so it was really funny the way they talk, and the how Genevieve was like, I have to get a water, where is the water, what is the water? That scene was really funny. But yeah, of course they didn't manage to find each other. After the faithfuls went to their rooms, the traitors were then brought into the graveyard, and Karin looked scary, I should say. Like she was annoyed. The way she looked at them was like she is annoyed. And so as a consequence, the thing that happened is Genevieve have to choose two people who would either be a traitors or would be killed, and she chose Sylvie and Francois. And after she chose them, I was like, is Dominic is also gonna choose two other traitors, and then they're gonna choose separately who's gonna be a traitor or something. But that didn't also make sense, because then it'd be four people if there is no common people in there. But then it makes sense, because then we were shown Dominic, and she was then said like there would be two people visiting her, and then we were shown Dominic, and then I realized that those two people like Francois and Sylvie were then brought to her, and she would then choose who will be staying and who will be going and will be killed, which makes sense, of course. As a consequence, they have to decide it separately. She was like thinking about who she's gonna choose, and then the episode end. So my prediction is that she's going to, I shouldn't say definitely, but I think 80% chance that she would choose Sylvie to stay, because she is already annoyed with Francois. And Sylvie, like it looks like Sylvie is gonna be banished the next time it's, or even if she isn't banished, she is definitely under fire, and Francois is not, at least not right now. I think she would definitely would choose Sylvie to stay and to Francois to go. So that is my prediction. So yeah, there you go. So that was the recap and my analysis of the first episode of the Quebec season 3. It was a good start. There were most of the tasks and twists were the same, but different people, the different dynamics. So yeah, let's see what the next episode is gonna be about, and who's gonna be banished, who's gonna be killed, who's gonna be chosen as a traitor. But until then, I have to say goodbye. Thank you for watching this video.